The last time we clinked glasses, we had a show that we should have called the Nicky Show. The big guy did some amazing finishing inside our Meraaai. Nicky's pa, Markieplan Chris, made some headway regarding the construction of our gutter that goes between the bonnet and the windscreen. And Bonnie Prince Charlie knocked the bases for our seats together in no time at all. This week an old mate in the form of Engine Pete is back on the scene, and that is good news because it means we have some movement in the mechanical department. We look at our final driver's seating position and Meraaai gets some amazing recognition. All this and so much more in episode 112 of A Dream Called Meraaai. It is early morning at East Coast Scratch and Dent. Precious is busy giving Meraaai a good top and tail. It is a new week, it is a new day, and this is going to be quite an exciting week. I've got my Meraaai TMP on, so my formele drag, my formal wear. A little bit of spit and polish happening on Meraaai because we've got some visitors. We've got a little TV crew popping in to pay us a visit and see what we are up to. But the best news is that Chris is back. He's over there somewhere, scratching around, looking for stuff. And he says he's feeling a little bit better, which is great news. But the man needs to look after himself. He really, really does. So apart from our visitors, who we will get to a little bit later, let's take a look and see what we've got lined up. Some good stuff, man. At long last, we have Engine Pete back on the scene. The guys have installed our power steering box, and now it is time to attach the steering column to it. Engine Pete has a few minor adjustments to make before he attempts to secure the steering wheel into place. The small knuckle at the base of the steering column needed some work. The steering wheel and steering shaft are lowered into position. Then it's just a matter of connecting the shaft to the power steering box. Easy peasy. Bram and off-grid Donald help guide the shaft into place. But this shaft is shafting us. It refuses to comply with Engine Pete's assertive requests. It's proving to be quite difficult to get this steering shaft secured. The issue is that the little knuckle on the end of the steering shaft, we couldn't get it over the steering box. So the call was now made, take it off the steering shaft, attach it to the steering box, and then put the steering shaft through and attach it to the knuckle. Let's see if that works. Then, with a few gentle taps from Bram, the offending shaft finally gives in, and it is in position. Next, we need to lock the steering wheel off so we can determine the steering wheel's final position. Bonnie Prince Charles's base is put into place. Then off-grid Donald ruins his already dodgy back by placing our driver's seat onto the pedestal. Time to see if I'll fit. I handed the filming task over to the multi-talented off-grid Donald. I then eased my wisp of a frame into the driver's seat. It was important to make sure that all the instrumentation on the dash was clearly visible, as well as having a comfortable driving position. These seats have a built-in adjustable suspension system, so we can cruise the hood in real comfort. The guys have also pulled Meraai's original gear stick from who knows where. This is the very same gear shift that kept popping out when we first met Meraaai. And I'm pretty sure the boys will sort that scary issue out. Precious Tatle has spent a few hours making Meraaai look gorgeous. The reason that Precious has been so busy are these guys, a TV crew filming for Kyknet. I was contacted a few days ago by a producer who asked if they could do a little story on Meraaai for a show called Sparsy. I was thrilled that Meraaai would be getting this exposure. The East Coast boys are used to me filming on a daily basis. This was something else though. This was 3 cameras and a sound guy. This man fiddling with my butt is busy putting a mic on me. It took the crew a while to set up. It is great having the Kyknet team here, but one thing, what it does mean is that work on Meraaai has stopped. Things were hotting up. I just got to tell you something. Today it's like 31 degrees, humidity is 86%. which means your temperature actually feels about 35 degrees. And these oaks are putting these up. It's like hot in here. If you want to see just how hot it got, you will have to watch Meraaai on Kyknet.
Where can they see this and what's the show called?
So this is our second season and the show is called Sparsy. It's on Kyknet channel 144 and it's 6:30 on Fridays. And Sparsy season 1 you can find on Showmax. Just go search for it and that's where you can see the show. And it's all about tiny home living, van life, living small and just changing your life in general.
And that is what Meraaai is all about. We are changing our life in general. So please guys, support Elmi and tune in to Sparsy. I will let you know when the Meraaai insert will be broadcast. It was fantastic having Elmi and her team here yesterday. Initially, I was thinking, oh my gosh, we've lost a whole day. And we did lose a day. But what is amazing is that the guys took the effort to come down and do a little story on Meraaai. And I think it's quite important for people to understand what is happening here on the lower south coast at East Coast Scratch and Dent. And what Brian Pretorius and his team are doing in an area that, let's face it, is fairly isolated when it comes in the big picture, from main centres. Our closest main centre is 150 kilometres away, being Durban. So what is happening is really a remarkable achievement. Another remarkable achievement is that Nikki has installed our main kitchen storage drawer. The big guy was looking quite svelte today. And Nikki is back at his post today looking all sexy with his new haircut. Yeah. Sexy Nikki is busy finishing off all the aluminium edgings inside Meraaai. With the ceiling in place, we can now complete all the edgings. I have to keep slapping myself when I see how the inside is progressing. It really is spectacular stuff. Outside, things are still a bit slow for my liking. Chris is working on the bonnet aesthetics. Chris is busy finishing up this corner here. We've got this rounded edge on the corner of the bonnet and it extends through to here. So what has to happen now is we need to fill this gap up with the same rounded edge, but it must flow very nicely and sort of iffy finicky work, like a lot of stuff on this nose section of the vehicle. I am not a patient person, but my goodness me, I have learned patience on this journey. A couple of hours later, and this is the end result. It is going to look stunning. Once again, I have to thank our clever viewers. Some of you oaks gave advice, which was on the money, and that is put an intercooler on this engine, on the radiator for the turbo. We did discuss it some time ago and then we just decided no, it's fine. But I did a bit of research after you brought it to my attention in the last couple of weeks, and an intercooler will make a huge difference to the vehicle's performance and our fuel consumption. So I've ordered this thing, it's coming through. We're going to have to do some serious artistic pipe work in this engine cavity to make it all fit. But thank you. So kudos to you guys. I appreciate it. These days, Take-A-Lot and I are big buddies, and this is the intercooler I have ordered. The important bit being its size and the 76mm inlet and outlet pipes. A noisy workshop this morning, middle of the week, Wednesday, hump day. Top of the hump, cruising down to the weekend. What Chris is busy with today is making the little catches on each side that the bonnet, to secure the bonnet lid. So they're using this gas cutter, which cuts out little shapes, and then he will put the catches inside that, and then it will be installed. So then our bonnet will have catches. Just needs a lid, doesn't it? A few minutes later, and the catches are good to go. A few hours later, and the plate with the catches is done and dusted. I have a good dose of ants in my pants regarding the front of Meraaai. I fully understand how long these things take, and we are so close and yet so far. And sadly, a few of you are also so close and yet so far when it comes to our guess the completion date when Meraaai will drive out of East Coast Scratch and Dent. This week it is bye-bye to Fritz, who reckoned the 26th of January. And Dale, you said 28th of January. Sorry Yella, you have missed out on these limited edition Meraaai t-shirts. We are down to the final 6. Which one of you will be the winner? Only time will tell. We still have a fair way to go. Each week seems to take longer and longer to pass. Each week my frustrations go up and down like a damn yo-yo. My biggest bitch at the moment is the front of the vehicle. Finally, I did see that Chris was working on the bonnet. A lot of time, and I mean a lot of time, has been spent on the small catches for the bonnet. We finally got the little bonnet catches sorted out. One this side, one that side, and they both get opened up by pulling a wire in the middle here, just to release the whole thing. We will have one of those center latches, a safety latch, right in the middle of the bonnet as well. Can we at least please get on to completing this hood? A bonnet which is turning out to be stupidly expensive because of the time spent making it. It is late Friday afternoon, my last day of filming, and I've been so disappointed about the work being done on Meraai's nose. And I just feel we're really going very, very, very slowly, and I really do think we could have done a lot better. So I am hoping from the bottom of my heart that Bram and Chris have gone and pulled some big bunny rabbit out of the hat, and that there's a bit more being done before we sign off on this episode. Fingers crossed, man. It has been a hot and humid week. My mood as I slope into East Coast Scratch and Dent this Friday afternoon is matching the balmy weather. I need a pick-me-up, and I need it now. The fact that there's noise means the power is back on. Will that translate into progress on Meraai's nose? Damn straight it will.
Now that's what we're talking about.
And again?
Now that's what we're talking about.
Wow, just wow. This is amazing. Our girl is looking all pumped up.
Brom, I've been like cunning on about this bonnet. Are you happy?
Yeah, very.
Huh?
Very, very. It's looking muscle.
Yeah.
You're going to see when it's done. It's going to look very muscle, Philip.
Okay.
Yeah.
Took a while though.
Yeah, it's a lot of thinking and planning, but yeah, it's coming. You can see that the result is coming already, but you'll see the end result. That's going to be awesome.
She is already looking awesome. Our bonnet has a profile.
It comes up over here, then you've got this sort of comes up, and it goes along flat, and then you've got this other little one. Get a good idea. And when this is all smooth and sorted out, and Aubrey's done his magic, and this has been painted, it is gonna look awesome.
Aubrey the PK, or Aubrey the panel klopper, panel beater, is already looking at what he needs to do. Under his skilled hands, Meraai will have the best nose in the hood.
Oh, mooi man.
We are one step closer towards the finishing line.
Now this is a good way to end an insert. And what a week, what a varied week. Man, this was variety. I hope we had enough to keep you entertained, and also so you can see the progress that we are making. I've been like this week, up and down, up and down. We lost Monday when we had the crew here. Fantastic having them here, it really, really was. And now, yeah, Chris and Bram they pulled that big bunny rabbit right out of the hat, and that bonnet is looking awesome. As Chris was saying, you know, putting the skin on is the easy part. It's all the stuff behind the scenes. Bit like making television, Alrighty, enough waffling, just a quick one. It's very hot. Across the country it's hot. Think of your pets. If you're hot, they are hot. Keep them with fresh water. Bring them inside if you can. This heat is a killer for some animals. It really, really is. So just be aware of it. Look after your families, look after yourselves, and keep safe. Remember to like us on Facebook and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. You will find us under A Dream Called Meraaai. Until next time, keep your dreams alive.